Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you another Monster Legends Guides, where we talk about monsters' moves, rune sets, partners, all that jazz. Today we are looking at Master Skeel. I decided to do this guide today because a subscriber asked for it, so why not do it today? Why not? It's been a while since I did a guide. I can't remember the guide I did, the last guide I did, but the last guide should have been not the last guide. The last guide should have been of Vadani. I've yet to post that. I'm actually gonna post that during a special week that's coming up after today. I'm gonna dub it the Dibs Awesome Week. I'm gonna make a trailer and all that and everything, and yeah, all that jazz about it. I'm gonna post videos daily, a bunch next week. A bunch of guys, a bunch of videos. As I've been working on a lot of videos, I've been editing all that jazz, making videos, all that jazz. All the jazzes, all the jazz. I am been working, and yeah, today we are talking about Master Skeel. All that stuff aside, now what is Master Skeel and what does he do? Master Skeel functions as a offensive, offensive support. Not in terms of He doesn't necessarily do damage. I mean, his support is more so disruption and giving allies an AOE buff, a random buff, of course. But most of his expertise lies in completely disrupting an enemy, controlling them, what have you. Not necessarily in the sense of it feels awkward. It's not really to say 100% a denier. He's more so a disruptor. He has the chance to deny. I will say that he has the chance to deny him, the enemy, given with one of his moves. I mean, like the entire enemy team, not just like a single target stuff. He has single target deny. But most of his game comes from the fact he can do random things to the enemies, random debuffs. He's one of the. I'd say he's probably one of the more efficient random debuffers in the game. Because one of his AOE's, I think that it comes in skill groups 1. But yeah, well, let's talk about it. Let's see why that's a thing. So he boasts a power of 3,355. This is a rather low power. That's completely fine. He's more so focused on disruption. Again, he's more so focused on the status he affects to enemies. You can compare him to things like not Steel Class words, ROFL, White Pandolf, and Scar, in the fact that he can give AOE 2 negative effects, or just kind of like that stuff, like the shenanigans he can pull out of his hat, or in this case his brain jar. It looks like somebody took a few pages from Mojo Jojo and some other infamous villainy stuff like Coco Sim. Cough Sim. Invader Zim and all that jazz. Fun fact, that's actually coming back. That show's coming back. Another side note. Sorry if this has nothing to do with the guide. But just another fun fact that's coming back too. But yeah, this Mojo Joe Zim monster doesn't boast the highest attack. That's fine because he's more so focused on disruption and giving allies buffs. His life is 30,461. Really nice life. This monster came with a really nice life. All around really nice base stats. Well-rounded base stats. Not in terms of OP base stats, but just well-rounded, really nice. So this monster is relatively not the softest monster in the game. Putting a life rune on it is completely fine. I highly recommend, before we even continue this further, I recommend a life and 2 speed. I feel like he's more so focused on supporting rather than denying. He has no AoE deny. He has a chance to do an AoE deny. I mean, it's random effects. Odds are you could get deny on each and every monster. That's a chance thing though, and I don't know how high likely the chances are, but my point. All that jazz. It makes him live longer. You can do more things. Just personally, I'd say the hugest problem with him. We're gonna talk about the speed and everything. Sorry if you like the background too. It's just I can't control background. Speed is 3,421. This is Thede. I think this is Thede speed, if not higher or lower. I can't remember, but this is regardless. The speed it's all right. Not the fastest speed in the world, though. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm kind of iffy about running full teams. I want to run full speed on it. In fact, you could get away with running team runes on this monster too. That's also an option because again, his life isn't brittle. He's not a brittle monster. He runs a pretty decent life. If you run a life rune on it, that's gonna last you a while. It should, unless you're fighting, of course, the memes, Voltic with really high end runes, like a really high end damage and 2 stamina runes, or just running full throttle stamina and just beaming you to death with infinite turns. You know, just a bunch of turns. But yeah, you get my point. Not a brittle monster. Pretty good to put a life. It's a good candidate to put a life rune on. His trait is immune to insta death. Now this very, 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 very rarely comes to relevance. Very few monsters in the entire game run an insta death move, and sometimes it's in the form of an ultimate. And I don't know if this is a thing. I don't know if if having immune to insta death means you're immune to Oros's or Nocturne's insta-death ultimates. I've been told that's not a thing. I've been told that is a thing. You decide what I mean, like if you ever been hit by an Oros ultimate while running Master Skeel, does it actually land on him or does that completely miss? Test that. Test it a few times. See if that's an actual thing. I have no idea if it's not. But yeah, insta death. It's like the equivalent of having attuned nightmares. It's garbage. It's really, really garbage for the most part. This trait is really, really terrible. It's probably one of the, if not, it's probably the second or the worst trait in the entire game to be immune to because it happens so very little often. It's like not having a trait at all. Very few monsters hold this trait too, by the way. Things include this monster in particular, Demise, Ogma, I think words. I think Singularius has this too. I think he does that too. But that's just the thing. It just is. Doomsday. Doomsday is Master Skeel's ultimate. Deals very heavy special damage, may burn targets. This is a 75 damage special based ultimate. Costs no stamina nor cooldown. This is a really great ultimate. If you landed some really good status effects with that 2 negative effects AoE, you are in a really great place right now. You do this does a great amount of base damage to begin with, and you burn everybody. I think the only downside is this guy doesn't excel in damage too much, but I feel like especially if you ranked this guy up, if you actually again that was my cat. If you heard that in the back, if you heard that in the background, it's a mixture of cat and brother, all that jazz. But yeah, this is burning AoE. It's really nice, really great. I lost my train of thought there, so I'm just gonna edit that. It's an alright. My point is really great AoE. I do want to mention this move in Skill Groups 1. Very rarely do I ever mention anything in Skill Groups 1 because usually it's irrelevant. Really, on rare occasions, they are relevant, so I do have the tendency to mention a skill or two in Skill Groups 1, depending on the thing. This one's really great. It's an AoE spammable move. It does 0 damage. The point that doesn't matter about the point of the 0 damage, but the point is it's an AoE that applies a random effect to everybody on the enemy team. I highly recommend running this move, especially on a supportive one, because again, he's not there to do damage. He's there to just bother the ever-living piss out of anybody. That's his main objective. That's all he's thinking about at any moment. How can I ruin your day today? That's what this guy ever thinks. This is why he's a dark. You want to know why he's a dark element monster? Because that's all he ever thinks about. How he can piss somebody off today. how he can really ruin somebody's really awesome day. Let's say you're running you got several win streaks, and he's like, I want to ruin this man's day. What can I apply to this enemy's team so I can help my team just completely demolish their hopes and dreams? That's what this guy thinks. But yeah, Alpha Ways, it's a supportive move. Run it if you're running supportive. I will say if you're running something that's not, I don't know what the average Joe would think. Let's say you decide to run damage Master Skeel. Don't run this because it does no damage. But run this if you're running supportive or just anything that's not damage, Yeah, that's not all that case. This is a really great AoE. It's spammable, and stamina regen just got buffed. So if you run this with something with stamina regen, or AoE stamina regen, you could continuously use this without a care in the world. You have the option to run positive control if you wish, but it's only a random effect. I don't know how impactful it is running just this. If it's only one ally, You can run it for fun. That's all I have to say. Over. Yeah, 1 second. Is this? There we. It's the big. There we go this way. You can see what I was trying to do there. It was just so much information trying to, yeah, here we go. Overcome. Deals moderate special damage by stun target. It's a 2-turn cooldown, 29 stamina, 45 damage, single target move. This move is, people run this move. It's a stun. It's a single target deny. This is good in war. In the case of the event, they're not immune to stun. Now, I think as far as like monsters are concerned, the only dark monster I know of that is immune to stun at the moment, or at least I can remember on the top of my tongue, is Harusami. That's the only one at the moment that is immune to stun. That's like the only one. So it's right now at the moment pretty no dark monsters can be like. Well, no monsters can avoid this. No dark monsters can avoid this other than Harusami. So pretty good stun skill. You may have I'm gonna say you have the option of running it if you so desire. Beta Waves deals low dark damage to all enemies. May apply a random negative effect to all targets. This requires a cooldown of 2 turns, 31 stamina, 30 damage. Now, in all honesty, you don't have to run this move. In all perfect honesty, you don't have to. You could just run Alpha Waves. Instead of beta wave. You don't have to run it. You have the option to, because essentially this is basically beta waves without the damage. In all honesty. It does the same thing, same story, and all that jazz. It does the same thing. It just does damage, but it's not spammable. Empowered Control applies a random positive effect to all allies. This requires a cooldown of 1 turn, and it's 0 damage, obviously, because it's his AoE buff. Now, I am going to highly recommend you run this move, especially if you're running Supportive Master Skeel. Supportive Master Skeel benefits this greatly, because, it's AoE, everybody gets something. It's random, of course, but you could get something really good. You could get 100% energy refill, you could get healing. The healing's not these 2 healings aren't the biggest thing, but this is the regen if you land regen. You could get all these immunities down here. You get a random goodie. It's just one random goodie, and it's only on a 1-turn cooldown. In terms of cooldowns, this guy's very proficient. This guy's very proficient in cooldowns. So he's anti-Timeron too. I mean, like, the cooldowns aren't too high for any of his skills. Especially if you get Timeron, you could do this. You can just do beta waves and hopefully land a deny. That could be a trolly thing you could do. You could even land. Can't you land 100% stamina drain with this? You can. You have a chance to totally troll Timeron. You have a chance to. There we go. 100% stamina drain. You gotta love those moments when you land that with a random negative effect. I've done that several times with Toy Master. It's funny, especially if, like, it's a freeze too. Single target freeze and it lands like 100% stamina drain too. It's stupid and quote unquote unfair. Empowered Control, universally great. You could get something good, or you could get something that's really not relevant to the situation. That's how random this move is. It's random goodies. Nothing bad can result in you using this move. Overwhelm deals massive special damage, may daze target. It's single target, and it dazes the enemy. I think this, in terms of moves, this is the least popular one. I don't see much point in running it. There's a better single target move to run. That does already dazing. There's no point in running this because it only applies dazing. Nullify Control got that covered. You're all good. You're all good, man. Omega Waves deals moderate dark damage to all enemies. May apply 2 random negative effects to all enemy targets. This requires a cooldown of 4 turns, 36 stamina, and it does a 40 damage AoE. This is probably, in all honesty, in terms of AoE 2 negative effects, this is probably the strongest one of the many that are. I think most of them have the tendency to be a 35 or even a 30 based damage. This is probably the highest damaging one with as a 40 based AoE. This causes any 2 thing, it's a 2 negative effects. You have a chance to get 2 really good effects. A lot of people love this skill, and this is probably one of the hugest reasons why Master Skeel has a huge fan base, or people continue to put him on defense nowadays. Usually it's because of this move. I don't think it's a healthy choice too much because possession exists. I have no idea why people would put anything that's not immune to a deny on defense, usually for the most part, unless you just completely forgot. That's understandable at that point. If you completely forgot about it, that's totally fine. But yeah, don't ever put anything that's not immune to a deny ever. So it's not gonna go well for you. You're gonna get denied. Of course, that varies. You know, the situation varies. Depend on your comp, of course, but for the most part, don't put it on defense. Odds are, if you do put it on defense and they do bring a possessor, you're done for. They're gonna possess your master skill, and he's gonna troll you. You think since he's the master of control, he wouldn't be controlled, but no, he can be controlled. He's immune to death, not immune to possession. I think that would have made so much more sense. That would have been so much cooler if this thing was immune to possession. I think people would love to use this more if it was, but it's not. It's not immune to possession. It's immune to instant death. People would put this on defense more. People love this monster. I just mean in terms of defense, people would put this on defense more if it was immune to possession, but it's not. Possession. Words. Nullify Control. Possesses, dazes, and blinds target. This is a 4-turn cooldown, a single target scale, and it's 35 stamina, no damage. This is its strongest control move. In terms of control, this is the strongest one. And honestly, it's one of the stronger controls in the game in terms of single target. Because one, it blinds people, it dazes people, so they have... This is probably one of the few times that, you know, it's a all-in-one deal, blinding and dazing, besides Nocturne Spat, who took a page from this monster, by the way. This is the first monster that could blind and daze with a single skill move. And he possesses the target too, so he's got a massive single target deny skill. Now the only problem with this is it doesn't go hand in hand. Blind and possession has never gone hand in hand with possession. If they do especially if it's like on the damage dealer, they have the chance to miss. Not only do they have a huge chance to miss, they do less damage even if they hit. That's a huge thing. It's you don't have. I'm gonna say you may run it if you're not too fond of that. If you don't like a possession move that blinds and dazes, it completely lowers the chances completely of them actually even doing anything that time. You have the option not to run it. I would still personally run it just because the control is great. Like, especially if it's on the attacker. If this gets on the attacker is doomed. The attacker's like, oh my god, what's happening to me? I can't see anything. I'm blind, man. I'm blind for days. Yes, that was a clever blind for days. Hey. Funny. I'm very punny today. I'm very punny. All the puns around. He's also got a really nice, design. Look at all the forms. Really funny. So the moveset I'd have you run, honestly, I'd run Alpha Waves. I'd run Overcome. I'd run Overwhelm. And I'd run... Well, not Overwhelm. Sorry, not Overwhelm. Nullify Control. See, I got used to saying Overcome. That sounded wrong. Overcome. Nullify Control. There we go. Nullify Control. Wait. One, two. Okay, yeah. Yep, the Alpha Waves, Overcome, and Nullify Control, and Omega Wave. Sorry, that was a huge ass pause. But that's the side I'd have you run. Just the dib processing, answers resulting. But yeah, I'd have you run Nullify Control, Omega Waves, Overcome, and Alpha Waves. There's no reason to run Beta Waves. It's on a cooldown. Why would you run a cooldown move? If you have the spammable one. You have spammable, less costing. 2 does it do no damage. True. Is it spammable? Yes. Can you apply a random effect to everybody? Yes. Can you troll everybody? Also yes. You can troll everybody with this move. This is troll. This is a trolly AoE. So I generally have you run a supportive one. Disrupting, whatchamacallit, you can, I was gonna say, oh wow, oh god, it has 4 move syndrome too. You want to run the empowered control too, so maybe you can, I don't know, I'm gonna leave that choice to you. Alright, so here's for sure, you have to run these skills, there's no reason not to. You have to run Alpha Waves, and you have to run Omega Waves. The rest is up to you. I'm gonna leave the rest up to you in terms of what you want. Personally, there are quite a few dark monsters immune to possession. Not many of them are immune to stun. So if you wanted to run empowered control, plus this move kind of contradicts with each other. You don't have to run this skill. If you want more so a lighter cooldown move set, you can run Omega Waves. You can run empowered control. You can run overcome, and you can run alpha waves. That's just a healthy supportive moveset rotation. True, do you lose a really heavy control? Yeah, but keep in mind the control also contradicts with each other. Possession again does not go hand in hand with blind, dazing, and or if you stamina drain them, it doesn't do you any good. Possession, you should be taking advantage of the fact you're controlling them. You should have them be able to move or like not be hindered by anything, so they do a bunch of damage. A lot of monsters have like AOE possession and damage reduction. It's like, oh man, I don't feel too good. I'm lowering the damage of my enemy. Yeah, that I'm currently controlling, and I want them to kill each other. And now they have less of a chance to kill each other because I've hindered the damage. But yeah, it's just one of those things. That's the set I would run. Let me know what skill sets you run for Master Skeel. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this guide. So partners, real quick. Things that give immunity. As far as I'm concerned, this trait is horrendous. If you can give him anything immune to a deny, that's fantastic. Pair him up with things that can make him immune, that lets him move. I will say the worst kind of monsters of the game that have really amazing movesets. It doesn't do them any good though if they get denied the entire game. I would say that's the worst thing. Like in terms of comp, if you have like really amazing moveset on your monster and they never get to move, there's no like I'll say like a denier. You could have there could be a denier with the best deny set in the entire game. If it's too slow, if it's slower than the enemy, obviously, if it doesn't ever get a chance to move, it can never take advantage of its deny. That's the hugest thing. That's the hugest thing. And this guy loves to move. This guy, you want this guy to move every single turn. If you can make this guy's dream come true, move every turn. Do that. Make something that make a comp that allows him to do that. So things like Kalik, Monster D, Viscera, and in all honesty, any monster with a horrible trait that's not immune to a deny or anything like that, pairing it up with things like Sarah, Kalik, Monster D, Vice, or Bowtie are its fantastic partners. They're fantastic. They're great. There's really no reason why not to pair them up with those monsters. Bowtie especially works well with any I'm gonna say right now, Bowtie, this monster right here, this magic monster, works wonders. You should get Bowtie at some point of the day. He's just got way too much amazing deny control. He can make monsters immune to advanced possession, advanced mega stun, stun. It's honestly the best partner to pair up with things that aren't immune to deny. A lot of really great monsters in the game. Some of them aren't even immune to a deny, and it's like you get that gut feeling, like, why weren't you immune to this deny? Why? Bowtie essentially and all the other deny friends help their dreams come true, and in order to do the shenanigans. In fact, he not only is Bowtie his greatest partner, he's also able to reset Master Skeel's 2 negative effects AoE, so you can watch it. Every other time, after you've set up the AoE protections, you can just have Bowtie commit to setting up the cooldowns again resetting, or not resetting, or re-giving Omega Wave so you can use it again. So that's enough said about Master Skeel. Let me know how much you enjoy this monster. I have him at 50. I'm going to get him to 100 and all of that soon, so I can make so it's going to be I'm not going to give too much into it, but it's going to be part of the awesome week that's coming starting tomorrow. So yeah, I'm Dib the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.